Alright, hello all you crazy people out there, my name is Dragonite, and welcome back to Harvest December. So, in the last part, we meet, who I suspected and was apparently correct to be, what's-his-face, Masaki's ex. And, in this part, well, he's gotta go back to school and deal with it all. So, it was impossible to attend classes the next day at school. Wait, you jerk! And my 3DS stylus almost fell out of its holder, because I'm playing with it instead of reading. This is just like in comic books, I thought to myself as I raced through the corridors in record time. Of course, I didn't have the courage to look back at who was chasing me. The school bell signaling the beginning of class rang, but I wondered how many people were actually in their classes. Halfway through my escape, I saw a teacher walk out of the staff room, noticed me running at full speed and pulled back as if he'd given up. Today, half the school had decided to try and hunt me down. I had come to school dreading what would happen today. I imagined I would find pins in my shoes, graffiti on my desk, all that kind of dirty bullying. I changed my shoes, went to class, and just as I took my textbooks out, hiya! One of my classmates jumped at me, hollering a weird shriek, attempting to kick at my face. I ducked. He crashed through the window out into the fresh spring air. We were on the 3rd floor. Something about comic books. My enemies were far more direct in their methods than I had expected. He jumped out the window! From then on, I had been on the run. I tried to figure out how much my pursuers had grown to such. Oh my god. I tried to figure out how my pursuers had grown to such numbers, but my mind wasn't serving me well since it had been in a state of constant fear for the past hour. This isn't something I'm proud about, but I don't have much stamina. My objective now wasn't to run, but to escape. Running caused me to get out of breath. When I was out of breath, I didn't have enough oxygen going to my brain, and when I didn't have enough oxygen going to my brain, I couldn't think of an escape route. This was a lost situation for me. I ran down the staircase to the 2nd floor. Surprisingly, there weren't any traps. Perhaps they had a sense of fair play. I knew this would happen someday. Kohai was waiting for me at the stairs. Can you let me pass? I could hear the thundering footsteps closing in. Well, the Tagami siblings have been loyal fans to Ao for years, and you hurt her, so I take that as a no. I clench my fists. Ooh, you think you can beat me in a fight? You skinny city boy? I was running out of time, so I didn't reply. I jumped down the stairs. Kohai pulled his fist right back, ready to punch. Sune-san, Kohai's pledging allegiance to a different woman here. You cheat! A black shadow cut in front of me in a blur. Whoa! Kohai screamed at as the black shadow pushed him down to the floor. How could you do that when you got me? What are you saying, He couldn't finish his sentence. Grr. Sune punched Kohai in the face, one hand grabbing onto his shirt so he couldn't get away. What's so great about her face? There should be a space there, there should be another space there, her skinny legs that look like they break with a single kick. Another space. You have to choose her knowing that I don't have any traits better than she does. Sune was unstoppable now. Her fist flew like a boxing champion's. Kohai wasn't even voicing his pain anymore. I landed safely. I was the one who had summoned Eidolon Sune, but now I feared for Kohai's life. I wondered if I should stop her. I thought for a second. Later, I continued my escape down the staircase. Am I already that woman of your past, huh, Kohai? I heard the assault continue, but pretended I didn't hear anything. The 2nd floor, then the 1st, then the gates of the back, then towards the back gates I had used yesterday. It didn't look like anybody was there. I decided to take a rest. Masaki! Masaki! Emphasis on the wrong letter. Of course, that was impossible. I quickly pulled out the thing I had been hiding under my shirt all this time. I felt the shock run through my bones. I bent my knees so I wouldn't fall, trying to absorb the impact that hit me vertically. I opened my eyes that had shut in fear. You! How much pain do you intend to cause me? That's what I want to ask you. And I suppose it's normal for you to carry around a metal baseball bat around with you at all times. It comes in handy at times like this. I was holding the metal bat above my head like a weightlifter. Yuki had attacked me from above, slicing into it with her Naginata Kubikirimaru. The blade went through half the bat. It was barely protecting me from ending my life in 2 pieces. Yuki, how on earth you managed to attack me from above? I jumped through the roof. Again, there was a mention about being a comic book. They weren't joking. I shuddered at the thought. Yuki was suspended in midair with Kubikirimaru in her hands. It was pretty amazing. It was pretty amazing she was able to jump from the roof and attack me like that. But I was even more impressed by the metal bat that had saved me from the assault. I marveled at modern technology. There he is! Get him! Kill, 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 kill! And suddenly I was thrown back into barbaric times. No, wait. We could say that about the advancement of technology. We could say that the advancement of technology provides us humans with an environment in which to express our purest, most basic nature, such as violence. What was I thinking at a time like this? I wouldn't be able to think anymore if I died right here. I tossed the bat aside. Yuki made a guttural noise as she landed on her feet. I dashed back towards the school building again. Wait, Masaki! What? The bat won't come off! Kubikirimaru! I ran and ran. I hated how fate always seemed to pick on me, how fate always seemed to pick me to put in difficult situations. And then I opened the metal door to the roof and fell to my knees. I had reached my limit. My throat was dry and it hurt just to breathe. There was no escape. But I didn't care anymore. I was too tired to think of what could happen. I took a moment to enjoy the breeze, which was deceptively comforting. You're just like smoke, Masaki. The door closed with a bang. Because I'm an idiot? Why is that? There's a saying in Japanese, idiots and smoke love high places. Oh. Nice. Yeah, but I like that part of you too. The sound of metal crushing. Tagami slowly walked towards me. Behind her fluttering skirts, I could see the metal doorknob. Just so you can't run away. Twisted and bent downward, mutilated out of shape. I stood up. How are you going to get down? Ao tilted her head sideways adorably. She was wearing that smile that captivated everybody in her photographs. I recalled the words of a photographer who worked with her. She's dangerously perfect. She didn't exploit her innocent looks much, yet didn't follow the trend the way other celebrities did. They all thought she was a flash in the pan. She would get famous but soon be forgotten when the next big thing came along. But not Ao. She knew how to manipulate people. She had a way to make them love her, take over their minds, make them obsess about her. She had a way of poisoning people, making them willing to die for her even without her asking. Apart from me, the photographer that saw her through the cold glass lens might have been the only other human being to see her for what she really was. Before I knew it, my back was against the wire mesh that ran around the top of the building. Why did I ever give you permission to run away? When did I ever give you permission to run away? She came closer. I'm pretty single-minded when it comes to love, she had said so innocently. I wanted a pair of clippers. Snip, snip. I could cut a hole through the fence, and jump off. You hurt me. Reality is merciless. She pressed herself against me. Her forehead lay on my chest for a moment, before she looked at me with those eyes. Do you have to run so far? To a place like this? Just to get away from me? Those eyes. Blue-tinged eyes. They shifted and clouded into a murky blue. I gave you everything. You were my first. Wasn't that enough? She placed her hands on my shoulders. Then she forced me down slowly. My back scraped against the fence as I sank down to the floor. I let you live. She was wearing a twisted smile now, and she looked down at me. Was that your game? Did it make you feel alive, running away from the predator? She climbed to the on top of me, hooking her legs around mine so I couldn't get away. I needed more air. I meant it when I said I wanted you, not to eat you, but just to touch you, just like a human being. Her eyes pinned me down. This is what I was afraid of. Will your fear give me some excitement, I wonder? A memory / when I was a kid / a regular average kid / my thoughts / a part-time job with good money / scouted as a part-time magazine model / everything was going smoothly / so long ago, but I remember it like yesterday. What? Her fingers slowly traced the surface of my shirt. Look, you're turning warm. Her hot breath was scalding and it smelled of blood. Good to know. A memory / I never used to think this way / I just lived with my life like everybody else around me / I didn't know I was a normal child / is this like the introduction song or something? That I don't understand because it's not in English or something? I didn't ask for much / I thought I would blend into society like everybody else. Everything seemed so simple then / I thought everything was in control. Pop, pop, pop. She slowly popped oh my god. She slowly popped the buttons off my shirt with her nails. Why? I'll try to help you remember what we meant to each other. She laughed and laughed and laughed at me. A memory, an editorial, a tie-up with a woman's fashion magazine. I was chosen. They made me a deal. I took the job for money. I'm here, dog. She's not barking. She just, like, rang her collar really loudly. They made me a deal. I took the job for money. I'm here for the money, too, laughed the girl. Ow. Still a nobody then, but nobody doubted she would climb onto the top. And then, just like any other boy, I fell in love with her. A memory. Why are there slashes? There shouldn't be slashes. Is this like a blip in the translation or something? I'm just gonna read these like these are line breaks or something. A memory. A rumor surrounding her. Men disappeared around her. I didn't believe them. Ow. The most perfect girl I had ever met. She was smart and thoughtful. People automatically loved her. She agreed to be my girlfriend. I was so elated. I could conquer the world. A memory. And now, I have to remember everything that came after that. What's the matter, Masaki? Are you going to let me have my way with you now? That's unlike you, isn't it? A memory. I was going to repeat my mistake. Everything beautiful took an ugly turn. Everything I held precious turned into a burden. Masaki, are you thinking about the past? I finally understood what had happened to all the men around her. Her breath was hot. Her eyes were shifting blue. They glittered and glowed like coals. I could feel something seeping into me. This was an invasion. The back of my eyes burned with an indescribable pain. I wanted her. I was afraid of her. Which emotion Which emotion was stronger? Okay, that's what I thought. Back then, I thought I would simply eat you up. She was so lovable, so attractive. Dog. Again, shaking her head and making her collar jingle. But I knew now that it was to catch her prey. I had fallen for it once before. She had brought me to my knees. She had made me eager to be at her mercy, and I had believed that it was a privilege to be a victim to such a predator as her. The back of my eyes throbbed again. I did my research. I talked to the producers, the photographers I had avoided for the most part just to know more about her. You've lost some weight. Her hand slid across the skin of my bare chest. What had happened to all those men? I don't know what joy was till I met you. Were you going to resist just that one time? Are you succumbing to me now? They had all become the shell of their former selves. They moved and talked like automated dolls. They were barely left alive. Is this like actual supernatural stuff? Because that sounds kind of fun. They had their souls sucked out of them. Every single one of them. Masaki, Masaki, Masaki. And so, what about me? I hadn't forgotten about us. I was a freed slave that still remembered the feeling of the leash that held me. Nobody forced to subservience would ever forget how that feels. I was still alive. I was still alive? How so? How so? Was I human? The questions filled my mind. I felt raw, exposed as if she had ripped away all of my flesh down to my bones. I was being pushed to the limit. Perhaps this was how it felt to bear all of destruction in the world. Sounds exaggerated, I know, but I truly thought so. And then, at long last, just when I thought I was about to break, hit! My memories caught up with reality. I pushed her away forcefully. She fell off of me, and the barriers were restored again. Passionate, aren't you? I stood up. It's because of you, because of what you are, Masaki, that I made an exception. What an honor. I'm still alive. It was the first time that I actually allowed my prey to escape. You were special. Then I knew. This must be love. You're twisted. So are you. That was true. You are so enchanted by the lovely, adorable owl, but you fear me at the same time. You would have accepted me if I had stayed the pretty, nice girl everybody likes. But that's not me. I wanted you to know me, to need me for what I really am. You really sound like you're in love. If I ever managed to break down your barriers, how glorious would that feel, I wonder? I'd never let you break me. Are you going to be a challenge, I wonder? I wasn't going to answer her. Looks like I'm out of time, she murmured. The door behind us was sliced in two. Masaki! The remains of the metal door crashed down. Yuki stepped forward. What are you doing? She looked at me, then Ao with Kubikirimaru still in her hands. So this is what you really are. Hello, nice to meet you. I'm okay. Hello, nice to meet you, Yuki Tawada. We could hear the crowd catch up. You sure like attracting problems, Masaki. He sure does. Yuki sighed and leaned on the doorframe. The crowd of boys chasing me gathered behind her. I'll deal with this. All of you, leave. Someone tried to protest. But... leave. They scrambled at her command, a command that held the power worthy of the Tawada name. And so we were left alone. Tell me everything, Yuki demanded. I pressed a hand on my abdomen. I could feel a stomachache developing. And that's going to be it for this chapter. Alright, that was fairly long. I'm going to end this off, even though I really want to know what happens next. My name is Dragonite. I hope you all enjoyed that, and I will see you all later.